Okay, now we're going to add some assignments to our class. We've got add assignment here and enter score. They kind of go together, but I think we're probably going to split this into two demos because it'll get too long otherwise. To add an assignment, just click add assignment, and this form will open up, and we'll make this a homework assignment. Let's call it homework 1. And we have assigned a book to this class, so we'll go ahead and select that. The category will be homework. These are the categories that we selected when we created the class. Usually when putting in a homework or an assignment, it'll be homework, but you might have take-home tests or quizzes or something. But this will be a homework assignment, and it's telling us that homework is 10% of the grade. The assignment weight, we'll come back to that. Basically, you can have different weights within weight categories. So like each assignment can have a different weight within the category, but we'll cover that in a little bit here. Make the due date a week from today. And pages and problems are both optional. Say we're supposed to read pages 51 to 89. Problems, that'd be more like for a math class. Like we can just leave that blank. You have the option of whether or not to add the assignment to the calendar. I'm going to leave that checked. Well, what the heck, let's be reminded of this. It's due on the 25th, Monday, so I want to be reminded on the 22nd at, I'll say noon. Okay. Now this is not started. We're just going to leave that there for now. The description too is optional. Sometimes just the name will be descriptive enough. But read assigned pages and do stuff. I don't know. Okay, so got this in here, and I'll click save, and it appears down here. And I'll note too, because we left the add to calendar checked. Come back to the calendar, see it was added right here. And when the program adds an assignment to the calendar, it will just use the class start date as both the start time as both the start and end times here, because it's due at the beginning of the class probably, and there really is no span. And again, this is blue to indicate that it's actually part of this class here and not really a separate calendar event. Alright, so let me come back over here. Okay, now just for brevity's sake, I'm going to pause this for a second and put in a couple more assignments. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Just to save a little time, I paused it. We've got 3 assignments in here now. I made the due dates a week apart on Mondays. I didn't fill in a lot of the details here because they're not really needed. You notice these here are red, and just as a note real quick, if you have trouble seeing these highlight colors, there's in the options, and we'll get in the options more later, but in the options you'll notice this grid highlight color brightness. The default setting is light, and those are like a light pastel colors, and they look good on a desktop, but sometimes they can be hard to see on a laptop screen. If you have trouble seeing those, just set this to dark. Okay, I don't want to do it here, but if you have trouble seeing them, you can just change that and then click OK. And because the dark colors are just too much on a desktop, but the light colors aren't enough on a laptop. So if you have trouble seeing these, that's what you can do about it. Okay, real quick on the form here where we enter scores. You'll notice there's nothing showing on this side over here. This is where you'll find assignments that have been turned in and you're waiting to get them back. You can also enter a new grade over here. Like, let's say if I'm going to try to put in homework 1. It's not going to let me. So we got a 95 on it. And when I try to save this, it's going to tell me the assignment homework 1 for the class history 1 has already been entered. That's because it's over here. Even though it hasn't been turned in yet, the name homework 1's already been used. So you can't use it again. As you work your way through these assignments, and again, you can edit them by selecting them and clicking edit, or you can just double click on them. Let's say you started this assignment but not finished it. You can change the status to started and then resave it. Okay, so now this has changed from red to yellow. Okay, red means not started. Yellow means started, not completed. I'll edit it again. Once it's completed, I can mark it as completed, save it, and now it's green. Green is completed. All right, so as you work your way through these, you can just update the status, and then you'll be able to see just at a glance where you stand with your assignments, and when the due dates are. Due dates are approaching, and this is still red. You got a problem. So it helps you keep track of all of that. Now, once you complete an assignment and you turn it in, you just mark it as turned in and save it. And you see it disappears from here. And this list is just for assignments that are upcoming or that you're working on that haven't been turned in yet. Once you turn them in, they're out of your control. They disappear from this list and they appear on this one. Okay, so now I can select this and everything's filled in for me. All I got to do is enter the score. Let's see, we got let's say a 92.5 on that one. And again, we'll leave the weight for equal for now. We'll come back to that. And you save it. Okay, now when we come down to our scores, there it is. It's equal of 10%. There's your score. It's the only one we've got, so the average is 92.5. Current average, 92.5. 10%, we've counted 10% of the totals. And with the grade scale we entered, this is where we'd be right now. Well, that's our current grade. Okay, so this is why you want to put in a grade scale for the classes, because throughout the semester, with every grade you enter, this will update automatically. And you can see your averages in each category, and you can see your averages overall. Okay, so that's how you can enter homework assignments and then enter scores for them. Again, you can enter scores from here or from the scores tab. And another thing too, on these assignments, you don't have to go in order down here. You can put in an assignment and immediately mark it as turned in. Okay, you don't have to go in order. You can jump around or whatever you need. That's just to show you the status, but you don't have to follow that particular order. Okay, so let's come back down to the scores tab. And as you progress along, let's say you've got you just had a quiz, you got that right back. So I want to put this in here. And again, you can have duplicate names. When you select something over here, that will automatically be filled if this is not already filled in. If you've already got something typed in there, it won't overwrite it. But if there's nothing in there, whatever you select down here will automatically fill in for you. But it'll just give you just the generic like quiz. You can only do that once. So you want to put some kind of a designator in there, because you can't duplicate names. Okay, then whatever date, you can use date turned in, date you got it back, completed, whatever. And then you just put in your score and click save. Okay, and each category is split up. All homework assignments will be together. All quizzes will be together. Okay. Now, one more thing to cover here real quick on the I'll go back over this score weight. Let's take our practical exams, for example. Let's say you've got 3 practical exams during the course of the semester. Now, collectively, they're worth 20% of the final grade. But let's say the first two practical exams are worth 25% of the 20, and the last one is worth 50%. So when you enter your scores, and we'll put in a score. Now, right now, this is showing us equal. This is going to be 25% of the 20. So you just go to Edit Weight, and there's a explanation here for this too. But you change the equal to 25 and save it. Now, this is worth 25% of the 20. Right? Now, when we save it, down here, see the other two are equal. This one's showing 25% of 20. Okay, so now if we put in the others, say this one will be 2, and let's see on this one we got a, well, we did really good. We got a 99.8 on that one or something, I don't know. And this one too will be 25%. Okay, and we'll save it. And we'll put in our third one. It didn't do so well. Got a 75.6 on that one. Which is bad because that's worth 50% of the 20%. Okay, now we got 50% of 20%. Now we save it. Now down here, this score is counted as 25% of the practical exam total. Same with this one. And this one is scored as 50% of the practical exam total. Then collectively, practical exams are worth 20% of the total. Okay? So counting this as 25% and 25% and 50% with these is how we came up with the 84.8 for the practical exam. Then collectively, that is worth 20% of the total. Hopefully that makes sense. And if you made a mistake when you're writing this, putting these in, you need to change them, you can just double click on them. You can change the grade type. You can't change the name, unfortunately. It's going to be locked in. But the date, the score, the grade weight, okay, you can modify that if you need to. If you forget to change it when you're entering the score, you can change it from here. And again, now at this point, we've counted 50% up here, 50%. Midterm and final is all that's not counted. And if we were going to get a grade for this class right now, we'd be getting an A minus. Okay. And again, that's based on the grade scale. So that's why it's really important to put in a grade scale, because the program will give you this. If you don't have a grade scale in, this will just say no grade scale entered. Okay, so it's really important to have that in there. Okay, I think that pretty well covers grades. Again, you can you don't got to go all the way through. You can just go straight down to turned in and save it. And again, you can enter the score from here or from here. Both enter score buttons do the exact same thing. Okay, so 88.5 on that one. We'll save it. Okay. Now, yeah. Okay. So that's how that works. Hopefully I made that clear enough. Again, we ran over time, but okay. Let's see. I think next time I want to get into this menu up here more and some of the other options and tools and things. So I'll see you there.